俺は忍びだ。
For those of you who've seen my episode 128 review, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of time travel in general, especially when it comes to the Naruto slash Boruto series, but that does not mean that I can't be a fan of the interactions that we got in this episode between Boruto and Sasuke from the future and the old gen characters, such as Jiraiya, Kid Naruto, Tsunade, etc. Now, this episode was basically like slice of life, but time travel slice of life. That really sounds ridiculous now that I say it, but it really is that. We find out that this is like literally a day after Sasuke deserted the village. So yeah, I mean, you would expect Naruto maybe to be a little more sad about it, I guess, because it's just been a day. But then again, it's something super tragic, and it's not like he wants to think about it 24/7. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? Naruto was out there with Jiraiya. They were goofing around. I mean, specifically Jiraiya, he was trying to write the best novel he could write, so that's perfectly understandable right there. Now, before I move on, I mean, obviously, we got the sexy jutsu reveal. It was hinted at in episode 24 when Boruto and Sarada had that little funny fight or whatever, I guess. I mean, it wasn't really a proper fight, you get what I mean. It was hinted at back then. For those of us who read the manga, we already saw it in the manga, but there you go. We saw the sexy jutsu in the anime. It kind of looked better in the manga and in the like the spoiler bubble thing that came out a few days ago that I tweeted. And by the way, if you don't follow me on Twitter, make sure to do so. Not gonna lie, the sexy jutsu looked better back then. Didn't look the best in this episode, at least in the face. But yeah, that's my I guess analysis of Boruto's sexy jutsu. Now, I feel like the thing that the little turtle said, I forgot its name. It starts with a K. He said that basically like if you interact with people you're very close with, and if they find out about your true identity, the future from this point on might be affected. I kind of expected that. I mean, it's a cliche, right? That's usually what happens when it comes to time travel stuff. Because if we didn't have that barrier right there, this fan service thing that we're getting right now could have turned to a whole new level, because like already this is super enjoyable, and you know, I think pretty much everybody's enjoying this, right? But imagine if Sasuke could literally like show himself and say, okay, I'm Sasuke from the future. Imagine if he were to show his Rinnegan to Jiraiya, you know, seeing Jiraiya's reaction and stuff like that. I feel like that would be too much. I mean, too much in the sense of very, very unrealistic. This whole time travel thing that we got out of nowhere is kind of unrealistic and stuff like that, but whatever. I mean, I said my thoughts about it in episode 128. I'm not gonna repeat myself entirely here. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that, but you know, that would be very, very fan service ish, if you get what I mean. This episode as a whole, I felt like it was a pretty much flawless episode for what it was trying to do. Now, Boruto's and Naruto's relationship got, I guess, fixed after the versus Momoshiki arc, which was many episodes ago. And it's not like Boruto still, like, I mean, he never hated Naruto, obviously. Naruto's his father, he loves him. But, like, he never, after the versus Momoshiki arc, it's not like he would, like, completely not understand Naruto's actions and stuff. Like, he learned a lot about Naruto during the versus Momoshiki arc. And so because of that, this isn't as impactful as it could have been. Like, it's still impactful. Like, I mean, just look at Boruto's reactions to what Naruto is saying about, you know, living alone. You know, Boruto's reactions when he sees that Naruto can, like, pretty much doesn't have money for anything other than ramen, and stuff like that. It's still gonna have impact on Boruto, and he's gonna respect his father even more. I'm just saying, he already got some respect for him after the versus Momoshiki arc. Like a more respect than he already had. Yeah, but just because it would have been more impactful if this happened earlier doesn't mean that the content itself is bad or anything like that. As you said, I think this episode is pretty much flawless. I guess most of you who watch my reviews regularly can already predict what rating I'm gonna give to it. Yeah, we saw Kid Sakura in this episode. I think Boruto made a comment of how Sakura and Sarada are pretty similar because obviously, I mean, Sarada is Sakura's kid, so that's kind of expected, and I agree, and I agree with that. Sakura as a character gets a lot of hate. I've always liked her character, so there you go, unpopular opinion right there, at least here in the West. Um, but yeah, not gonna get into that whole West East thing right there. The point is, this episode had so many of these beautiful moments. I mean, they even used the soundtrack from Naruto, which was super enjoyable, and on top of that, they used that one of the most iconic soundtracks from Boruto there at the end when Naruto and Boruto had that like bedroom scene or whatever. That sounds so wrong, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like literally, one of my friends texted me before I saw the episode. Actually, he texted me saying, "Yo, man, I teared up at the end of this episode." I've seen it on the timeline, like even before I saw the episode from other people, and honestly, I relate to that. Like I did tear up. It was such a beautiful moment. And, kind of funny as well when Boruto was talking about his father, and obviously Kid Naruto does not know that that's him from the future, and I think I saw a tweet of how like Boruto's acting like a tsundere. He was like, "I don't hate Naruto." Sorry, he was like, "I don't hate him." He didn't say, "I love my dad," but he was like, "I don't hate him," right? But that's true. That's like a little tsundere moment right there. Boruto can be tsundere pretty often, if you get what I mean. And for those of you who don't know what tsundere means, it's like in anime. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I think it is. Like certain anime have like these usually female characters who like obviously have emotions for some people, or like they're passionate about something, but they never want to fully reveal that, and they're kind of embarrassed when they're asked about it, and stuff like that. So that's where that comparison comes from. And like yandere is the opposite. Yandere is the one who's like shows their obsession or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to I guess explain that in case you're not aware of that term. It's like a pretty popular term in the, I guess, anime community. I've heard it like 3,000 times. This episode confirms that Urashiki will be back in a few days, and for those few days we're gonna get like the most fan service, I guess. And basically he's coming back. His goal is to take the Nine Tails from Naruto now that he's a kid and he can't really defeat him, and that's actually a very clever plan. I really hope that this time travel turtle is kind of destroyed after this arc, and there's no more time travel in Naruto, because that's what I hope. So that's what I hope for. And yeah, I mean, this episode again, it was flawless. 10 out of 10. I mean, we even had Sasuke saying I'm too close to Sakura, and like, I mean, that was just so adorable. Hilarious episode as well. Jiraiya, one of my all-time favorite characters in anime, like fiction, whatever. All these goofy moments, these pervy moments, and it's just I couldn't get enough of it. And as I was watching the episode, like, I knew that the bedroom scene was gonna be the final one, because like I was spoiled on the timeline, on the Twitter timeline already before seeing the episode. Like when I got to that point, I was like, wait a minute, it's already done. What the fuck? I feel like I started watching it like 3 minutes ago. That's how much I enjoyed this episode. And honestly, without any exaggeration, I think this is one of my favorite Boruto episodes. I mean, we had a lot of episodes, guys. 129. That's a very high number, right? So I can reflect on all these 128 instantly and tell you if this episode is like my second favorite, third favorite, fourth or fifth or whatever. I can't be super precise about this without any deep thinking and research into my previous reviews, I guess. But this episode is out there somewhere at the top. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what the future of this arc brings. That was your boy Hokage. Twitter, Discord, Instagram, and second channel links are in the description of this video. And I'll see you in my next video, which will be Boruto Chapter 39 review. Bye.